Yes, my Straight Talk family, when you hear that music, you know it is time for another edition of Straight Talk, and time for me to bid you a very pleasant night as I say goodbye to my brother Chico there in the studios and making way for Straight Talk. And time to reach out to all the people in St. Kitts and Nevis, and of course throughout the entire Caribbean region. To my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Nibijan diaspora, I say greetings to all who are logged on the World Wide Web to ZIZ Online. And we normally simulcast as well via our sister station, Sugar City FM St. Kitts, my dear brother Val T. We had a chat just 2 days ago, and I know and trust and hope that you're still in a state of good health. But to my Straight Talk family in the diaspora, I know that some of you are in Africa, there's some of you in Asia, there's some of you in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. And I can't forget the USVI and the BVI and Montserrat and Nevis, the folks at the Air and Seaport Authority in Nevis, my good security friends. Good night. But Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let's, in the process, continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national discourse. We try to raise the level of national consciousness by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And I'm joining you from quarantine. Yes, I'm really confined here on quarantine. My Straight Talk family, there is a lot of discussion about nationals returning home, nationals returning to the Federation, and different views have been expressed. But I'm still here in quarantine until hopefully on Saturday. But my Straight Talk family, on Saturday last, a COVID-19 special briefing was convened at the National Emergency Operations Center, at which time the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hazel Laws, reported this to the nation.
Last evening, the Ministry of Health received the positive laboratory report, positive COVID-19 laboratory report of our 20th case of COVID-19. So as of today, St. Kitts and Nevis now has a total of 20 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 14 St. Kitts and 6 Nevis. This additional case of COVID-19 is an imported case. The individual would have arrived in the Federation on November the 8th, 2020, and has been in quarantine since arrival. We want to assure the general public that the protocols have been followed along the corridor of containment.
Yes, the protocols have been followed according to the CMO along the corridors of containment, and that was an advice, and I've went through the corridor of containment myself. As reported by the NEOC chairman, Abia Samuels, case number 20, as it's been referred to, met all the entry requirements, or as they say, met all the protocols.
Travel form at knatravelform.kn, submitted a negative PCR test. The application was then reviewed and approved. The letter of approval was then issued. The case number 20 would have then boarded an aircraft in the USA, traveled to Antigua, and then onward onto St. Kitts. On arrival in St. Kitts, case number 20 would have disembarked the aircraft and proceeded to the welcome area. I want to ensure the general public that all COVID-19 protocols were observed and followed by all agencies and persons involved in this corridor of containment.
Yes, so no need to worry, no need to panic. All protocols have been followed. It was further confirmed by the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Laws, that this individual being referred to as case number 20 traveled to St. Kitts via his, we learned, it's a male, via his own chartered flight from Antigua and Barbuda.
Perchance, we are happy that in this case, the individual came to St. Kitts on a charter alone. There wasn't anybody else on the charter. However, if perchance
no one else was on that charter, a single passenger on that charter. While I believe that this new case will heighten some anxiety, tonight we can examine the exceptional COVID-19 model that was introduced by our Team Unity government in March of this year. Time may not allow us to scrutinize to the fullest, but perhaps we can identify the strengths and or the weaknesses within the model. Some may also want to engage in an entire SWOT analysis and in the process highlight the threats and opportunities. But whatever we choose to do, please avoid the academics. I emphasize the latter point because as your host, I much prefer that our program provides an education, in particular to the ordinary man. I much prefer that we learn from each other, as it is said, each one teach one. And I believe that we are never too old to learn. We must, however, respect, underline, respect the view of each other, even though we are not bound on Straight Talk to accept those views of the other man. You can also agree that if you compare yourself with others, you may you may just become vain and or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourselves, as can be gleaned from the words of the lovely poem penned by American writer Max Ehrman in the 1920s called Desiderata. Desiderata comes from the Latin desideratum, means thing desired. This is the plural, desiderata, things desired. My Straight Talk family, the daily global topic for discussion still remains this dreadful COVID 19 virus, which emerged from the city of Wuhan, China in December 2019 and apparently spread when some 5 million people left that city for the Chinese New Year elsewhere. The World Health Organization (WHO) on March 11, 2020 declared the novel coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak a global pandemic. By April 2020, about half of the world's population was under lockdown, with more than 3.9 billion people in more than 90 countries or territories having been asked or ordered to stay at home by their governments. In St. Kitts Nevis, our proactive team unity government declared a state of emergency, let's recall, on the 20th of March 2020.
Last evening, I asked His Excellency our Governor General to declare a state of emergency. Effective 7 p.m. today, Saturday, March 28, 2020, all citizens and residents will be subject to a curfew between the hours of 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. each day for the next 14 days. This is part of our scaled-up response to contain COVID-19 and minimize harm to our people. The emergency powers COVID-19 regulations provide for every person to remain confined to their place of residence, inclusive of their yard space.
Yes, that measure clearly outlined that we must stay a yard, as we say in colloquial parlance. Now, many European countries have reopened their borders to their fellow European travelers 3 months after coronavirus lockdown measures went into force. Similarly, in some OECS and other Caribbean countries like Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Bahamas, Jamaica and Barbados, St. Lucia, all of whom closed their borders to international tourists in March 2020 due to the pandemic, but began reopening their tourism industry months after lockdown. Meanwhile, here in St. Kitts Nevis, our Team Unity government introduced its unique model for handling this crisis, which continues to mayhem, cause mayhem all around the world. In Ontario, the second largest province in Canada, just today, Monday, the Toronto and Peel region have been placed in lockdown. Notwithstanding all that is happening around the world, our team unity government's model has been roundly criticized by the irresponsible opposition who has taken long to accept, or the opposition leader, in fact, has taken so long to accept that he has passed his best by political date. One would have thought that Douglas would have learned a lesson when the electorate kicked him out of office for his uncaring approach to crime and his callous way of dealing with public debt and other critical matters when he was Prime Minister. We all remember the sentiments he expressed. We all remember what he said about the 36 homicides and the $3 billion debt, which amounted to a ratio of nigh 200% debt to GDP. Who would believe, however, in these serious times of crisis, Douglas would in a similar vein be so politically blind and so heartless to make a comment like this one.
Get approval to come home. It's not good governance, in my opinion. They have to be approved to come to their yard. This is their yard. You understand? You can't just simply make people to believe they are second-class citizens in their own country. Because right now, it is out there that tourists are being treated better than them. I'm telling you, it's out there. It is this talk out there in the town. Our citizens are made to feel that they can return home and don't have to have approval from a government to come to their yard. That is the point I want to make.
This Douglas approach to handling the COVID-19 pandemic seems to support the St. Lucia experience as a case study we cannot and must never replicate if we are going to continue the successful management of the crisis in St. Kitts and Nevis. The St. Lucia Minister of Tourism, Dominic Fede, suggested just after the lockdown that COVID-19 has kept us apart for too long, to use his words.
Dominic Fede, the Minister of Tourism for St. Lucia, the most beautiful island in the entire Caribbean. Now, COVID-19 has kept us apart for too long. What a devastating few months we've had as a destination and as travelers. But there's good news. We are getting ready to host you again. Our people, our beaches, and our mountains await you in all of their splendor. Now, the way we used to vibe will change just a little bit. Responsible tourism, heightened protocols, there is still going to be plenty of fun in the sun.
When St. Lucia reopened its borders on June 4th, it had 19 positive COVID cases. Soon after reopening, the Ministers of Health and Tourism in St. Lucia celebrated prematurely, I believe, what they call a great accomplishment, citing 25 positive cases and 0 deaths. No one died.
Accomplishment is how Minister for Health and Wellness, Mary Isaac, has described St. Lucia's position as the country with the lowest incidence of COVID-19 in the Caribbean region. St. Lucia has only recorded 25 cases of the coronavirus, all of which have recovered. The minister attributes the island's relative success to the work of frontline workers, the cooperation of the general public, and the various measures that the government has put in place to protect the public from the deadly virus.
This is quite an accomplishment, to say that all the measures that we took, which we believe were the necessary measures to ensure that we kept our people safe, these measures have worked in our favor. And right now we have had 0 deaths. Thank God for that. And of course, we give God all the glory.
Minister for Tourism Dominic Fede joined the health minister in celebrating the island's low COVID-19 numbers. According to him, the low incidence of the virus vindicates the strict protocols put in place by the health and tourism departments. St. Lucia, he noted, has not suffered the fate of many of its regional counterparts who have had to close their borders or undergo another national shutdown because of a spike in cases.
We were hauled over the coals by many stakeholders, not just in St. Lucia, locally and internationally, for the rigid pre-testing mechanism that we have put in place to ensure that we can sustain the opening of our tourism sector. And today I would like to say that we have been vindicated by ensuring that we stay the course and remain very strict as it pertains to the pre-testing protocol.
But my Stray Dog family, that was a bit premature, as I said. Because 3 months after reopening its borders to international passenger traffic, there is surely not a lot of fun in the St. Lucia sun, as unfortunately their numbers have surged to 220 positive COVID-19 cases and 2 COVID-19 deaths. Just Thursday, or just Friday, in fact, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmad George, gave this update rather on Thursday, November 19th. And this is what the CMO in St. Lucia had to say. My Straight Talk family.
Thursday, November 19th, 2020, the Ministry of Health and Wellness received confirmation of 20 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 203. 10 of the cases are non-nationals. 2 of these cases are visitors to St. Lucia. Both of these individuals arrived in St. Lucia on Monday, November 16th, 2020. They went through the established screening processes, and based on the fact that they did not have the approved test, they were required to undergo COVID-19 testing in country. The individuals are now
I do apologize for that technical glitch, dear my Straight Dog family. But sadly, this report was revised yesterday, Sunday, by the CMO, Dr. Belmad George of St. Lucia. And that report went like this. Very short report.
Sunday, November 22nd, 2020, the Ministry of Health and Wellness received confirmation of 16 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 220.
220 cases from 19, 3 months ago. So, here in St. Kitts and Nevis, after 3 weeks of reopening our borders, we have had the revisit of the coronavirus, my Straight Dog family.
Early days of this pandemic, we were able to capture the attention of the country and got the majority of persons on board to fight this deadly virus. We saw the closure of our borders, lockdowns and curfews imposed to prevent the spread of the virus locally once the first case arrived on our shores in March this year. We have gotten thus far as a nation without a single death or serious hospitalization from COVID-19. It is only with an effective vaccine that we will be able to see our way out of this global crisis. The CMO said in her talk when we were reopening our borders that the virus was coming. Some were shocked by her brutal honesty. It took a mere 3 weeks for us to have the first documented revisit of COVID-19, proving her statement true.
Interesting. The medical chief of staff emphasized the first documented case after 3 weeks of reopening of borders. Medical Chief of Staff Dr. Campbell Wilkinson has warned us about a surge and the need for a vaccine to ensure that a large portion of our population becomes immune to this coronavirus. I think that's what they call herd immunity. He said this as he warned us.
There have been more cases reported in the last 4 weeks than in the first 6 months of this pandemic. As long as the virus is circulating regionally and internationally, we will never be COVID-free. We may have periods where all of our documented cases are recovered, but we will never be COVID-free until we have true herd immunity from an effective vaccine. This is not an exercise in fear-mongering. It's the stark reality of where we are in this fight against the deadly virus. 2 facts in the fight against COVID-19 are reassuring. 1, the virus does not have a brain, we do. And 2, the virus cannot move from point A to point B without hitching a ride from us. In the context of daily living, we need to avoid the 3 C's: crowds, closed spaces, and close contact setting.
Yes, stark reality, the truth, as we say, straight talk, medical chief of staff. A vaccine, it is predicted, would not be available before March of 2021. So we have to be careful of any what is called super spreader or super spreader event during the upcoming Christmas season. There's a lot of debate about carnival, but there has to be or have to be new norms for Christmas, as recommended as well by Dr. Wilkinson.
We move into the Christmas and Carnival season, we need to adapt to the new norms that will keep us safe into the new year. We need to take a close look at a number of the super spreader events planned for the season, and I refer to the parties, fetes, concerts, balls, if it's worth trading the lives of our loved ones over one night of fun and frolic. If we lose focus now and become complacent, we can see a significant surge in COVID-19 cases right here in our federation. We will see an overwhelming of our healthcare system and the deaths that we see now happening in our neighboring islands and just north of us in the USA. We need all hands on deck now with a singular purpose of doing all we can to contain the virus. No one is safe until everyone is safe, and the singular action of one can have far-reaching consequences for us all. We have run a good race thus far in the fight against COVID-19. Let us make one last surge as a nation towards the finish line of containing this virus until we have an effective vaccine available for all. We will get through this crisis, but only with the help of you.
Yes, a lot depends on us, each of us, as individuals. The truth is, we don't know how long we would be under these conditions, but our team unity government continues on the path of delivering a stronger and safer future for St. Kitts and Nevis. it continues to promote a life-first strategy, and that is so critical.
This time, we're not bored. We have not one COVID-19 death because we had a life-first strategy. Save life. We remain clear that the first priority of the government, it must be the safety and security of its people and its residents. But it seems, for political purposes, they want to just shove back the door wide open. Let man come back a yard. You will come back a yard in a manner that protects those of us who stood in the yard. You can't sell the falsehood. And if you all want to come back home, come back a yard, man. In fact, it is an unwise thing to put that proposition. Let the man them come back at the yard. Everything we do in the country can't done as if we are the back of the land style. We have to have order.
Yes, we need order. Not like the back of the land style. The opposition, for example, proposes exemption based on nationality. Then how would the Health Emergency Operations Committee and the National Emergency Operations Committee properly manage the quarantine process? How would they? That's a pertinent question, my straight dog family.
When the member for number 6 then posits the argument that when someone comes from a hotspot in South Florida, New York, out of London, call anywhere, that person be given differential treatment on the basis of nationality, I reject it as being unwise. Our approach must be that we will do all in our power to keep people safe, and we have a life-saving strategy at the forefront of our actions in relation to COVID-19. So, for the time being, there will be no exemption based on nationality. One rule, it makes it easy, and it does not allow for trouble. The lives of our people matter. And yes, livelihood is important, but if you have no life, you can't be focused on livelihood. Life comes first. That has been our strategy.
Life before nationality. No life, you can't have a livelihood. That's a rational position. So I'm asking the questions tonight. Should returning nationals all be quarantined? What do you think, my straight dog family? Should nationals be granted differential or preferential treatment in these serious times? Should there be exemption based on nationality, or should there be one rule for all who enter the Federation? Well, I don't normally answer the questions I ask, but from solitude right here in quarantine, I said no, no, no to exemption, and no, no, no to differential or preferential treatment. Every returning national must be placed in quarantine and monitored for 14 days. Yes, speaking from confinement myself, it is somewhat inconvenient, I know, but I believe the benefit of keeping my people healthy and safe far outweigh that inconvenience. Thanks to friends like my junior minister Chris Short Pants Moonlight Roberts for the breadfruit and mackerel from Granny. Granny thanks for the piece of corn on the cob. Thanks to Verna for the sweet, sweet saltfish. Hear this. Jasmine sent me saltfish cake, Johnny cake, and 2 well-fried goldfish. But lo and behold, Jasmine also included a big chunk of pork. But it was not Bible's pork. How do I know? You may ask. It did not have on any hair. Bible pork got hair. But I still need your view, my Street Dog family. That's aside. I'll go to the lines and entertain your calls and entertain your emails. I'll open the lines anytime now, my Straight Dog family. And just to remind you, if you're a first timer, in particular, the numbers are 4652555. That's one number, but it accommodates 3 lines. If you're calling from the diaspora or anywhere overseas, the number is 718-577-2916. If you want the cloak of anonymity, as I always refer to it, then you can access the program via our email platform. The address is zizstraightalk@gmail.com. That's ZIZSTRAIGHTTALK, and that's one word, at gmail.com. My Straight Dog family, I always like to implore that you respect others, and of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. Let us ensure in the things we say and or do as well, we will strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. My Straight Dog family, as I said, I asked the questions. Do you think that we should have preferential treatment, or should we just have one rule, my Straight Dog family? At 21 before 9 o'clock, I go to the lines. Call your live.
A most pleasant good evening to you, Mr. Liburd. How are you doing? Hello, good night, Mr. Liburd.
Go ahead, call.
This is Pat in St. Thomas. I'm looking at you on Facebook. You're looking good. Stay healthy. I'm going to set this to each and every one, and to the Prime Minister of St. Kitts. Continue doing the great job that you all are doing. To the CMO, I'm asking you all to please continue, keep up the good work, because this COVID is not going any place. St. Thomas is, America is one of the biggest thing that right now that's facing it. And Thanksgiving is a big event in America. And I'm saying to each and every one, if you don't have to go to anybody's place, don't go to nobody's place. Because for me, I am not going to nobody's place for Thanksgiving. I already tell all who I'm going to cook for, pick up and leave me yard. Pick up your food, leave me yard. Okay? I'm going to stay home and watch movies. So, please, I'm begging everyone to be careful, It's rising up again in the Virgin Islands. I need everyone to be careful, okay? So, Mr. Liburd, you stay safe. God bless the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. God bless our Prime Minister. Prime Minister, I'm telling you, don't let nobody run your job for you. You do your job to the best of your knowledge along with your team. And I'm asking your team to work along with you, okay? And the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, please stay safe. Do what you all have to do. God bless you all. Good night, Mr. Liburd. Love you. Bye.
I love you more, my dear Pat, a warrior from the East. And yes, you stay safe as well. And just to inform our callers, I, I cannot really, we cannot simultaneously speak as we affect the quality of the broadcast. So when I say caller good night or you're live or whatever I say to introduce you, just start talking and we'll have a smooth show. But it's now 18 before 9 o'clock. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Just start talking.
I'm glad you got you back here, safe and sound on the rock. Now, I want people to understand that the first set of people that brought the virus here was two nationals. I think it was mother and son, or mother and family, or something like that. Those are the two first brought the virus here into the Federation, coming out of New York or one of them places. Now, if you cut short by granting, because you're from St. Kitts and so on, that you only should come in, spend 2 days in the place and back on the road and all of that, I don't think you fair. The rules is the rules, and the rules must be carried out. It's not separation in rules when it comes to this deadly disease, because he ain't picking out who is PAM, who is Labour, who is NRP, who is Unity and all of that. It's a deadly disease, and we are trying our best to work on it and get it behind us. And by the help of God, we're going to get behind us. But, Mr. Liburd, I noticed you have some radio, so-called talk show hosts, right? And all they're doing is criticizing the country and the government. Nothing else to do but that. They're trying to bring the country down to the lowest level, and they forget they got to live here. You understand me? Because I don't know what some of them that be thinking and talking. I'm not going to call the radio station name, but they're on the radio station saying how they're bringing in vaccination to kill people and make guinea pig out of people. Mind, these are supposed to be some intelligent people, and that's the way how they behave. That's the way how they're behaving, like it's a joke. You know, I know insult, no, some of them could have talked, and some of the guests, them could have talked. Because when they was in government, they never say nothing. They never doing nothing. You understand me? And if the Prime Minister never there in this position we're in, boy, woe be unto us in the Caribbean. So before they go and talk wrong things and bad things about the Prime Minister and the Cabinet and all of them, they need to think it over and give us a blessing for the way how the Prime Minister handle the situation and his colleagues and them. Practice as I say, God bless St. Kitts, God bless the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, and we will move on to put this thing behind us. God bless you all. Good night.
God bless you as well, my straight dog family, you know. And you said it was brought here. That's what the CMO normally say. It was imported. And you're so right. It came from New York, the first 2 cases we had. And it's not only unfair, as you said, to give preferential treatment. It is dangerous. More importantly, it is dangerous. And I like how you said the virus don't pick out. Really, it does not discriminate. So I'm asking the question, should returning nationals be quarantined? Should nationals be granted differential or preferential treatment? Should there be exemption based on nationality? Or should there be one rule for all who enter the Federation? Those are straightforward questions. Tell me what you think and tell me why. Caller, when I say good night, go ahead. You're live. Just caller, you live.
Good night, Dr. Ian Patrick Liburd. I know everything is good with you, and everything down here is going good too. The volcano is safe, and I want, when you go eat jasmine pork, I want one day hear them stick in your throat, because you're supposed to shave them off like boy blue. So you go ahead. Let me tell special people good night. Good night, Nurse Garnet, Canary, Jacqueline, Janet in Stacia, and Trinidad Annette. All those are hard listeners to your program. But anyway, Patrick, let's go. I do not expect anything good coming out of Douglas' mouth at this stage. Because the first thing he do wrong, he tell the whole world a big lie. Oh, don't study Lindsey Grant. He want to take bread out of your mouth, but he gonna done with the sugar industry. Not over my dead body. It will happen over my dead body. Well, the sugar industry dead long time, and he ain't had nothing in place to replace that. And a lot of people take it to heart and they're dead. So when he gonna come up on the radio and condemn this government and want to say, well, citizens, you come a yard. No study he. The man have no love for nobody. Otherwise he would not have done what he did with the sugar industry. That's one. When he gonna go up on the radio and say, well, the government want to give preferential treatment to some and preferential treatment to the other some, he must tell the truth. Dr. Harris, the Prime Minister, and the whole COVID-19 task force thing, they all agree on the same law and rules of the country. There is no exception for the treatment that people have to go through to make sure that they're negative with this COVID thing here. We can't see it, we can't smell it, we can't touch it, we can't hear it. But it is circling around the world, just like how the sun shining, and everybody on this world here, on this earth here. So when he coming on with the ignorance, he will incite, he has done incite already to violence, battle and stone leg in the street after a legally lawful elected government. He incite people to do that, to stone out a government. So who is he to come on and say he advising people? Who is he? When he went on the radio and he said, well then, he ain't taking no responsibility for crime. When 30-something people were murdered by gun because he ain't send nobody to kill nobody. So crime going to happen like water run off a duck back. There is a irresponsible statement for any kind of body who in a position of leadership to a country. What example is showing? No wonder the young people them now are behaving, because if he at the head and he's saying those kind of things, he give them license to do what they're doing. And he believe in Obio. He left some kind of curse on this country here. When he say he going, me ask, I gotta go Haiti nobody. They gonna go up here. I gotta go Haiti. He left some kind of curse here. So the only thing to help us right now is pray up to God and everybody obey the protocol. Please, we have that weapon, and if we obey, things will be better. I got more shots to Lagos, so I won't come back.
Yes, my straight talk family. Sorry about that little glitch there. I was trying to pull up something here, but I'm a little bit handicapped. It's 10 before the 9 o'clock hour. I go straight back to lines. Caller, when I say you're live, just go talk and call you live.
Patches, good night. Culture, good night. Culture, I'm so glad that we got a Prime Minister who like to go to church. God bless him. So we could get some of the cuss off. Some people don't like when he go to church, because they say, well, he gone in church. They say, but God bless him. Prime Minister, anyway, God send you go do his work. You go. Patches, I want to talk about this vaccine. Because some people making things seem like it's so bad and the vaccine ain't come out yet. Nobody get the vaccine yet. And them putting fear in people. Some of them, when they get sick and the doctor tell them they got plastic, they're running up and down one to get all kind of cure. Is the same scientists have to go out there and look cure for the prostate and AIDS and all kind of thing we don't come down with? So give the thing a chance and I stop put fear in people. The other ship come think it last year, early this year, the Red Cross ship, and people were saying all kind of thing about the ship. And when people go and start to get good results, everybody no want to go till the ship had to go and leave people. I give this thing a chance. Ain't gonna kill nobody. They know what they're doing. They're gonna give a count to your body weight and a count to your age. He ain't come out yet, passes and this lot putting fear in people. But if I have to take, I gonna take. And I stop it. Sensible people in doctor and all, and they're laughing and again one of them talk, oh, the border open to sue me. You look there, say the border should have done. What the hell people they must do? But they want the government to do, and I come and give thanks. Because it's under talking about tourists getting better treatment than local. The tourists they ain't complaining. They know you're around and they're doing what they have to do. And if they want to pay their money to come, say they're gonna come up. We don't complain too much and always want to put people in front of us. But the tourists them do what they want. If they want to come, think if they pay their money and they go in the quarantine. But we used to complain in the local. Patches have a safe journey home, and I stop blame the Prime Minister. All hands on deck. So I was there ready. And I have gone back, so I never will. Because anyhow you see anybody come around you and they go back to where they was, with all them things they were saying, they didn't real, they were just coming to hear what people going to say. I get real. Patches, you have a safe journey. I mean, sorry about that. Enjoy your quarantine. See you. Bye. Love your Prime Minister.
Love you too as well. Another warrior from the east there in the St. Croix. The need for a vaccine, to my understanding, is to ensure that a large portion of our population becomes immune to the coronavirus, so you don't have this community spread. You know, that's what they call the herd immunity. I explained that well. But my straight talk family, at 6 before 9, we go back to the lines. Call you live.
Pleasant good evening, Patrice. Marsha here. I want to applaud my Prime Minister, the best Prime Minister that ever touched down in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, for the domino last night for hosting the big domino prize giving ceremony last night in Molyneux. This Prime Minister is a lovable man. He's a man that have a good heart for poor people. You understand? And thousands of dollars last night for the first prize, the second prize winner. Last night over Molyneux was very good. Patrice, I'm sorry you're in quarantine, because I know you would have been there to give him your support. This man is a God-sent man. The best Prime Minister, as I said earlier, and Patrice, I want to say, no new taxes. What a team unity government. And I also want to applaud the government, the team unity government, because all those potholes, even all those potholes in Liburd, coming round in Middle Island, they fixed today, and I'm feeling very, 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 very great. I'm feeling good. I'm proud of my team unity government under the leadership of Dr. Timothy Harris, the best Prime Minister ever. Good night, all. I will get back in.
Yes, good night, my dear. Many won't dispute that. Some will, though, right? But based on the performance, I'm sure many would concur that is the best Prime Minister ever. We've had 3 of them, but he is the best ever. At 5 before the 9 o'clock hour, we go straight back to the lines. Call you live.
Good night to the Honorable Ian Patches Liburd. Good night. Patches, I like your opening statement. I didn't get to hear all. I was doing something at the time when you come on. But Patches, I believe that anyone who comes to the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis supposed to treated the same. Because Patches, you know the reason for me saying that? Whether you're national, you're tourist, you whatever, and you want to come to the country, you got to go to the protocol. You got to go to the laws, the CMO, and, you know, the task was put down. You understand? Whether you got to pay $500 in quarantine, or whether you got to do this or whether you got to do that. If you ain't got the money, you can't come, you just can't come. You understand? Patches, you know the amount of money the government done put in from since this COVID start? You know the amount of money? You know the amount of nurses and doctors working overtime? The government got to pay them. The security forces, the government got to pay them. And some people, I listened to some, just a week ago, when the parliament, the former prime minister come and talk about how people work, and when the senators them, people work and they up to now they ain't getting overtime and this and that and the other. One the senator from the government side got to get up and explain that she is a doctor and she put out she endeavor best, put out she offers, whether she think it or not, but she do it because she ain't do it because of the money. She do it because of the country and she people. You understand? So Patches, you know, listen now, we got to think positive. And all those who come in and talking the negative things about, especially those who on the opposition side, especially those on the radio station them who say he no one call. Patches, they just about themselves, they love the country. They just want to see that the party back in government who take this country and make this country some thoroughfare. Some thoroughfare. Because the former prime minister who was there, not one of them could tell him nothing. You see, Dr. Harris, he back broad. He taking the criticism. He him getting it from inside. And he back broad, he taking it. But Patches, I telling you plain, he got people like me and others, me like culture and others out there on the radio supporting him because the man is doing a good job. Patches, thousands of people at the time to call me from overseas, you know. WhatsApp me, call me, tell me politics, I like a contribution, and do not feel to talk for your country. You understand? Everybody ain't gonna do it. Everybody ain't gonna do it. Everybody ain't gonna the heart to come on the radio. When I see the government manages this country, people going shopping still, buying still. You understand? You know, somebody make me tell me the other day, I want them to go communities where their country could close. Politics. You understand? But you see some people like them, right? We got to be careful with them. And I don't put some of them name to the police, you know. With the ignorance them attack, you know. Because people out there in the border ready to step in here. And Patches, you have a wonderful night. God bless. And God bless the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Everybody now like we got educated people. They're showing 98% literate, and I believe so. The people them show it. 2015 and 2020. Patches, you have a wonderful night. Good night. Good night, Alva.
This is what Douglas seemed to want to happen in the country.
Get approval to come home. It's not good governance, in my opinion. They have to be approved to come to their yard. This is their yard. You understand? You can't just simply make people to believe they are second-class citizens in their own country. Because right now, it is out there that tourists are being treated better than them. I'm telling you, it's out there. It is this talk out there in the town. Our citizens are made to feel that they can return home and don't have to have approval from a government to come to their yard. That is the point I want to make.
My Street Dog family, at 9 o'clock, right to the top of the hour, we go straight back to lines. Oh no, I thought we had a caller. But we are. Yes, we go to the lines. Call your line.
Yes, a pleasant good evening to you, Patrice. How are you? I hope you're fine. And be good until you're ready to come out. Patrice, you don't worry that back of the landman there, you know. I come and talk about people, tourists out there get treatment better than here. He was treating people outside better than us. So I do not know what he gone out of the ear to say, because they were treating people outside better than us. He gave 132 million and leave the school, the station, everything under disrepute. So there where he start to treat Harvey, like Harvey a second citizen, and treat people overseas better than us. So you don't even bother when you hear talk. You seem to me, look, he just drink before he go in, they go talk and what's not, you know. And to the COVID people, the same what dish out to one, let it go for all. If they can't come here and quarantine for 14 days, let us stay over there, as old people say. Let us catch the cold, let us cough it over there. Don't let come here if they know they're going to come in and spend the 14 days quarantine. Otherwise, it don't really make no sense. You don't bother with the back of the land cobalt snake there. God pleasant night. If I get back, I get back.
Yes, have a pleasant night as well. I can see those dimples there, right, the lady. We go straight back to lines at 903. Caller, you're live.
To stop me, you know, because if nobody call me, gonna call. But you know, I want to say this here too, you know. When that man gonna be saying that foreigners getting better treatment than us here, what he did, we ain't following here with the nonsense. Because he forget when he went down Dubai, say he gonna open a consulate, and he disrespect his deputy prime minister, but he ain't telling him nothing. What that was? When down they say he doing this, he disrespect Sam Kanda, who was the deputy. So he was treating outside people better than Sam. And when he went to sell Bragadam, he passport for $1 million. And Bragadam said he was a diplomat here. He don't even know what Irish tongue look like. But he was the diplomat for here. When Honorable Mark Brantley was the leader of the opposition, Mark Brantley never get no diplomatic passport from he. So let you look at that. Don't know come chat no stupidness about the Prime Minister and the government treating them people over there better than here. And all of them kunumono on the Sugar Walkers radio and other who chatting nonsense and spreading fake news to the world. They know all of that there, what he do. But there's a crooked and hypocrisy in them that they ain't gonna talk about that. They ain't gonna talk about it, but the good Lord ain't like, what are you doing? Because are you educated enough to know what is wrong from what is right, and why pick up the wrong and spread it to the public and give them the impression like what you're saying is right? And it ain't so you go. So now you got to stop it. Otherwise God gonna deal with our win, and the corona they're teaching us a lesson. That is the next thing. Last week there, when it was mentioned on the task force thing that a young lady was in the federation and she tested and they have her quarantine. God knows how many more coming with she and where she come in. That's the reason why me and my good partner Jean been saying all the time, let us ask Taiwan to help us with at least 3 cigarette speedboat with a gun whip on top, and they got the radar, and they would anchor them not anchor them, but cruise in special viewpoint that we could see who coming in from northeast, so one over there, and who coming in from southwest, one down there and one circling around near its borders. Otherwise, our little island they're gonna wash away with them illegal aliens, and they're gonna bring all what they could bring, and then spread it in the country, and then we just drop down so look chick feed. If nobody call, I'm gonna come back. Thank you for the time so long.
Thank you very much. Last week, Patches, some jokers on Freedom Radio, read this email, started a rumor that the House will be meeting in the morning and on the agenda paper is an income tax bill. The puppy shows like McMahon and this labor woman from Texas, saying that the government is going to reintroduce income tax, also increase the company tax. And hear the host, well, you know, when they do that, it will be passed on to the consumers. These people just second guessing and preempting the government with their stupidity, but they get a shock of their life when the Prime Minister set the record straight in the National Assembly. Imagine how shameful they felt. At 9:06, I go straight back to lines. Call out your live.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Nzinga. A blessed evening, my beloved African brother. Hope all is well. And let me just say greetings to the entire Federation, especially my beloved sisters and brothers over there in the Pan-African Republic of Ethiopia and the entire constituency 6. Now, beloved brother, let me say, I don't forget about who said this, I get preferential treatment. If it's anybody supposed to get, listen, I am all for saving lives, beloved brother. But if anybody's supposed to get preferential treatment, it gotta be nationals of the Federation St. Kitts Nevis. St. Kitts Nevis, beloved brother. And what I say, and I repeat, life, the saving of lives come first, beloved. But no boy from out of Europe, out of Asia, and no other place and no girls supposed to come into St. Kitts. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm just saying that for argument's sake, you know. You got to be the national of St. Kitts Nevis, beloved. But if any preferential treatment supposed to be given, no, brother. Brother, we all must adhere to the protocols that is being laid down. That's the front line defense, but in fighting this COVID pandemic. Beloved, and let me say, good, and people hear me out there, hear me good. Brother Nabo, I won't take no vaccine from neither Pfizer or whosoever. The only country I will trust with a vaccine is will be coming out of Cuba. If Cuba develop a vaccine, that's the only vaccine I will trust, because I have well, in my short thing in life and this planet, that thing that have done to African people globally, starting with this country in the 1920s when they injected syphilis into African men. Tuskegee experiment and watch them die. Smallpox into Africa. Sterilize African women globally. I am not trusting these people. That's me. Who want to take vaccine? It's up to them. But not this brother here. It mean that I ain't going to travel. If we come to a case that you got to take that vaccine to travel, well, I will just stay where I am. I just come to my place of birth and stay there. But I am not everybody, and everybody is not me. I'm not a no alarmist. Let me get that in everybody's head who is listening. This is just me speaking. This is my life, the one and only life I have to live in this farm. That's my thing and that. And let me just, make a little detour. This thing that anytime I hear this phrase, back at the land, I take offense to that. Whether the Prime Minister using it, my beloved brother, the Prime Minister, anybody else. Them a backward thinking, man. Come on, backward lad. Come on, it's the rural areas. You don't need to do this nonsense. I had to chastise Brother Carl Brown on several occasions on this very radio station. You said that, you know, those two words, but back of the land, even if I wasn't from the rural areas of the Federation, I still will I got the same, take the same stance. Come on, brothers, sisters, and brothers. Come on, man, but back at the land, Mr. Prime Minister, come on. And the sister who used it several times, and others, it's full time. Stop using the foolish and backward word. Man, come on, sisters and brothers. We are better than that, and we should do better than that. Thanks again for hearing me, beloved. Keep up the great works, and my beloved sisters and brothers, stay strong, stay focused, stay healthy. Pan-Africanism and praise. One love, my beloved people.
Yes, one love, and let's be guided by the rules of brevity. I don't have the access to speak and guide the discussion. Come Thursday will be last, and hopefully next week I'll be in studio. Thanks for Albert Bradley, who's holding the fort there, and for Bevis and John James, who help us with this virtual host. But let's be guided by the time. Mr. Liburd, Friday afternoon, the Friday afternoon Freedom Radio armchair critics of Team Unity, and you in particular, could not help but sing praises on the improved road works now have taken place in Basseterre, and more particularly on Keon Street outside their radio station. I really had to smile, for it appears to me that in a subtle way they marvel at Patch's skills and the excellent work he has done and continue to do in infrastructure. I dare any one of them, including Dwyer, to challenge your supremacy on planning, organizing, and executing. Let's all give Jack his jacket, man, and join in the chorus. Patches, done, do that. Let's go back to the lines. At 9:14, caller, you're live.
Hello, straight talk. Mr. Straight, how are you, my brother? Listen, straight talk. God is good. I'm just calling to let you know that you're back home and just do what you got to do. Don't let nobody give you a problem. Take care of yourself. Be good. Straight up. I'm going to wait until when you come over, you come out of there and do what you got to do. Until that time, God bless you. See you when I see you. My brother Alvin and Ivan and Ivy. Today is the birthday. You guys be good. See you when I see you. Straight up. Love you, man.
Love you more, my dear brother. See you when I see you as well. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you are live at 9:14.
Hello, Mr. Patrick. It's so wonderful to hear you. Now, I would like to say some other things. You know, when I think about people chatting rubbish, that thing tells me, as the Bible says, the heart is deceitful and desperate wicked. And people forget that we are all one hand made. So, and people forget God take down and God put up. It's God who rule the whole universe. So if Mr. Harris is the Prime Minister for St. Nevis, nobody could do nothing about it. Because when the man who said there were 10 men in one was in there. There were 10 devils, 10 demons was ruling this country. And what happened when the government changed, you could have feel the weight lift off of the country. And God remove the ex-prime minister out of office and put Mr. Harris. So, Minister, what do I worry about? And let me tell you something, it wasn't for Mr. Harris that God put him there. Cracker with a smoke, all our piping saying it. Listen here. I need something back here. I just stay in your house. I can't go to Barcelona. I used to lie in town. But from the time COVID come, I keep it out of Barcelona. And so nobody going to give me the corporate. So I am thanking God for Mr. Harris because he's doing a wonderful job. And most of all, I thank Mr. Patrick Liburd. Mr. Patrick Liburd, I am putting up everything until you come out of quarantine because I'm going to really let go. But I'm going to take my time. The time is going to come. God is going to strengthen you, Mr. Patrick. God is a good God. And God look after his children. You understand? So let me tell you something. Who want to say the rubbish and say already have no weapon that form against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that right up against thee in judgment shall condemn. No weapon that form against the Prime Minister shall prosper. No weapon form against your Patrick shall prosper. So you stay safe until you come out of quarantine. Good night. Have a pleasant day.
Have a good night as well, my sweet dog family. In the event you have just joined us, I don't want us to lose perspective because we were discussing whether we would need to give treatment or should we have one rule. Everyone who comes to St. Kitts must follow the protocols and be quarantined for 14 days. Yes, I'll get to that call in a minute, Alva. But the point is, I raised the issue of St. Lucia, our sisters and brothers in St. Lucia. At one time, St. Lucia were doing much better than us. St. Lucia opened or reopened their borders on June the 4th, I think it was. Back then, they had 19 cases. Now, we are in November, that's correct? So that's about 5 months after. 5 months after, on Sunday, the CMO, Dr. Sharon Bellamy George, I think is her name, announced this situation in St. Lucia.
Sunday, November 22nd, 2020, the Ministry of Health and Wellness received confirmation of 16 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of cases diagnosed in country today to 220.
220 cases from 19 in June 2020. So we have now reopened our borders. There's no vaccine. So you have to control it. You have to contain the virus, as it is said. So it's in that context we were asking the question in terms of entry or returning home to St. Kitts. How do you contain the spread, especially the community spread of this virus? I'll go back to the lines. Caller, you are live.
Yes, it's me again, Patrice. Good night. Nabu, good night. Nabu, we say in back of the land, I don't think it's nothing because we have a Calypsonian sing about back of the land And here you call down and say that the Calypsonian they must ban the Calypsonian song. The Prime Minister is back at the land too, and he no feel no offense by saying back at the land. I don't think that is no offense at all by saying back at the land. If you're to the back, you say back. If you're in the middle, you say in the middle. And if you're to the front, you say to the front. I don't see no offense with that at all, because the Calypsonian that sing back at the land, you call in and say, well, they must ban his song because he not called to say so. So don't get downhearted by you here back of the land. You have a pleasant night. That's it.
Yes, we remember that calypso well. The Mighty Thunder was a very popular calypso back at the land, but this was just a calypso in jest, if I can use that term. Junie boy, you beat Dr. Goebbels, the German Nazi propagandist, reads this email. The government was absolutely right in declaring the state of emergency that necessitated the need to control the COVID and was never intended as an advantage for team unity and disadvantage for labor. During the campaign, as was presupposed by some liars and misleaders in the opposition party, I want to say further to Junie, brother, the state of emergency will remain in existence until the right time comes for it to be lifted. Harris again is in charge, not you, my brother Junie. It's 22 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Good night to Denny's in New York and the whole Straight Talk fraternity in New York and England and all around the world. Patches, let me tell you something. The Attorney General has stumped the people who try to come with this false boundary concept in a walk. Mendes strike them again, telling lies, lot of lies. Let me show you something, Patrick, with this COVID thing. We've been playing with a lot of immigrants, been bringing people and bringing them in up there by Kenneth Peer. And a warning the Prime Minister, a warning my Prime Minister to keep his ears to the ground and listen to us. They're not listening to us. We come in on the radio time to time trying to give them insight of what's going on in the country, and they're listening to street people, and somebody gonna bear the grime, Somebody gonna bear the grime. The Prime Minister not supposed to learn people. Push him. 14 days, the official, Dr. Cameron and Miss Lars, we gonna work by 14 days. It's unity running this country, not other people. I can't to culture, the man believe in Obia, The man is Obia, man. Oh, some man hate it. So are you only going down to? Let history be. Let history be. Nobody studying them. It's a new science to think it's politics, and they just don't seem to get it. Nobody going on the road with here again. We've done it that. It's a new era in this country, and the guys got to understand that. Look at the faces in Bastille. From since Timothy pick up the country, you ain't seen no tight face no more. No bad things no bad no more. People don't want to hear them nonsense. Think it, the COVID is a very serious thing. And we want you all to adherence, Because once I see any nonsense, I am going to lock up, Because I going to quote them for you. We have to do the right thing in this country. What do you mean? I haven't just act like I don't care and all we help them go get a 50 flowers on board box. We don't want that here. Timothy, do what you have to do. Miss Laws and Commons have 14 days, and we're walking by that. Have a good night, Patrick.
Yes, have a good night as well, my dear brother Jamdong, and saying hello to Janet, your sister in St. Martin, at 9:26, we go straight back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Greetings, Mr. Ian Patches Liburd. Leadership in every walk of life is much greater today than ever before. That's all we have to remember, because all of us as individuals have to show that leadership role. Not inconsistent, but consistent leadership role. And from mankind beginning, you got to obey rules. That's why the Lord gave mankind the 10 Commandments. If you don't abide by the rules, you get punished. So that's why it's best for we to apply by the protocols that's there and see how we strive to see how we survive out this war with this virus. We can't be going on as though only conditions make out the iron, so they can't nothing go harm to us. If the coronavirus, the gain conditions and the vision exceptional pass, I could accept what the opposition leaders say. But seeing that the virus has no respect for no nationality, no individual person, I think he words should have been a little more responsible. But you see, he had the chance already to govern the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and his political career get tarnished in a court of law. And it's unfortunate when you hear some of them criticizing the administration who the people of the Federation elect. Is the people elect the administration, not the politicians themselves, because the politicians themselves had a chance to do that. They would have do it different. But the people say they want a more party. They want a unified structured government to govern them, because they're more reaching out to God. They want things a little more different in the country. And even though some of the critics see what the people did, they're still ashamed of their actions, so they're just stuck in their ways. And it's unfortunate, because I was surprised, Mr. Patches, when the court made the decision with the opposition leader, and through the decision that the court make, he had to move from Parliament. That's a very serious thing, because what the court could have seen, why they had to come with that decision, when it's the people who put him there. And here is it. He let that position take away from him. Not because he won an election again and they vote him. That position don't tarnish. And when you hear our people don't be consistent towards righteousness, it's a shame. Mr. Patrick, I heard the talk last week, the praises Quebec members, that is good. Some other time I make an input on different vibes. You continue to be good and you stay strong.
My brother, yes. The staff are all local. I made that point. Patches Chapman went on radio saying the vaccine cannot be safe because other vaccines took 10 years to develop. You see, people like Chapman cannot appreciate that science and technology have advanced from former years, because he spent an entire third year at the Caville campus of the University of the West Indies and failed the entire year's exam and had to return to repeat the year. So you see, Patches, when he comes on radio and talks his foolishness, please remember he's not a bright thinking person. Reads that email, and those are the views of the emailer, not necessarily the views of Straight Talk and or the host of Straight Talk. But we go straight back to the lines at the bottom of the hour, 9:30, my family.
Good night, Patrick. This is Dumpling. I would like to say good night to the Prime Minister
and all the members in cabinet. Patches, I'm not going to stay long. I'm waiting till you come out. When you come out, then I can speak to you. Patches, Sunday is your friend Janet's birthday in St. Martin. She is listening you now. So, big her up. And Monday is my niece's birthday, Jamila. Patches, see you when you come out. Be strong. Dumplings. Love you all the time. Bye.
Hey, that's Dumpling or Lydia Dumpling Manners. Yes, good night to Janet in St. Martin. Haven't seen you in years. Hope you're doing well. And to your niece, happy birthday when it comes. Let's go back to the line at 9:32. Call you live.
Good night, Mr. Liburd. Glad to have you back. I listened last week, but I did not get in anyway. They are saying a lot of this and a lot of that, and as the old people say, Tara and the other. But saying kids, we are to thank God for a man like the Prime Minister Timothy Harris, who came from a poor family, knows what life is all about, so he able to deal with poor people and to look out for poor people. St. Kitts people are to be glad and pray for him, and you too. When it comes to national coming back home, I am a national outside of St. Kitts. I would like to come home. But the rule is the rule. God set up law. So we are to respect the law of the land. And it's for our own good. I have children home, grandchildren, great-grand. I don't want to come home and spread nothing to them. So they're doing the right thing. I am a national. I don't want no special treatment because I'm from there. Next thing, when you look, the whole place full of it, because I'm going to visit aunt, visit children, hug up grandchildren, and all those kind of things. People need to stop walking on their senses and do what is right. I have a question. Let's say they say 72 hours before you travel, you have to take the COVID test. So let's say somebody traveling on a Saturday. What day should they take the COVID test? And Patches, you have a blessed night. May God continue to bless you. And as John James rightly said, the Bible states, men's heart are desperately wicked and deceitful above all, and who can know it? We don't know it, but God knows it. And God knows that St. Kitts is up top. And all they're fighting to do is to bring it down. You're going to take it, but the Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister should remember. There's a set of people in St. Thomas business, Kaya Kingdom. And when they told me they have land in St. Kitts, they said, you got out, and you mean you're crazy? Is St. Kitts from me? Say yes. Douglas is our friend, and he get us down. And they not even told me. And they come from where they have business. So outside people was getting better treatment and better acknowledgement than we who born there. Good night and God bless you.
God bless you as well, my dear. And the question, if you're coming on a Saturday, then you should get your tests by the Wednesday, the latest. I had to get my test on that Wednesday. And normally it's a little, it gets you a little nervous because you don't get it back until perhaps the Friday. But then you have to send it on to the authorities. Once you have a negative result, then you have access to the land. Patches, good evening. I want to agree with you that the unity government has been protecting lives, but I find it very unfair towards the neighboring islands such as Sabre, Statia, and Anguilla that do not have any active cases of COVID-19. These islands, and I can boast that Little Sabre has only had 5 cases no deaths. And what's this word here? The it is as if cases, that's all the cases we had was in July. We have opened our borders to residents of St. Kitts to come here, and our people cannot enter St. Kitts without having to go into quarantine. Reads this email coming from a Kittitian by birth residing on Sabre and looking for some reciprocity. But really, there's no discrimination. It's one rule, one size fits all. And we understand that COVID don't discriminate. And I myself, as one who is actually speaking from quarantine, yes, it's sometimes from the onset it seems a little bit difficult. But once you understand the reasoning behind it, once you know what the expected outcome will be, is that we do not spread the virus here in St. Kitts, and especially the community spread. And we're losing sight of the fact, or no one has mentioned as well, our health system can only accommodate a certain amount of cases, and so too our quarantine sites. So we have to be careful to protect, you have to indemnify the country, indemnify the health system so it don't get overrun if we have too many cases. You see what's happening in North America and in terms of the health system being overrun. But it's 22 before the 10 o'clock hour as we go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Good night, my dear beloved brother. And how are you? I hope you're doing well, by God's help. What I call to talk about tonight is to thank the Prime Minister for caring for this country. He closed down the country. He gave up curfew. All of these are protective measures to protect our people. Now, if Douglas, when I listened to Douglas in Parliament last Tuesday, if he was Prime Minister of this land, would I have thousands of deaths and hundreds of deaths. Because he said, you are national, and because you are national, you're supposed to just come in. You're going to leave the country with the death bed of COVID. Come in, take it, because you're national. And bring it in, come here. He would have let them come in, we would have dead. Plenty of us would have died. God bless Timothy Harris. He go all out and he secure us. He look after us. And when he not look after us with the mouth, you know, he went in the kitty and he help us. He bring in medical team from Cuba. He bring them in, and then we have the CMO, Dr. Wilkerson and Dr. Laws, and the medical team in St. Kitts with them, looking after the people. And you want to come tell me Douglas stand up in his parliament and say that the people them supposed to get special privilege of coming in the country because they are citizens and they coming from COVID country. The COVID country without they're buried in it, people dying over there. If Douglas was in power, many of us would have died. We wouldn't have speech tonight. And I want to thank him. I want to thank the government for what they are doing. And the roads, we miss you, but the roads, work's going on. In front of water department going down on Wellington Road, it's going to be a nice, smooth surface. When it's finished, they take out some of the old pipe, like the asbestos pipe, and they put in good pipe. Only Unity could do that. Unity government do that. God bless all you. And bless all who in government. The whole cabinet, everybody. And I pray that God will keep you all together so that this country could keep going. Have a good night, safe journey home, and all the best to you. Good night.
Yes, good night, my dear sister. Yes, but I am not really surprised because if you recall what Douglas said when we had these homicides, 36 homicides, you remember what he said? You remember what he said when we had this humongous death? Imagine what he's saying now about COVID. It's 19 before 10. Let's go back to the lines. Call you live.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Ian and Patches McDonald Liburd. It's nice to hear your voice as always. It's a pleasure. You know, Ian McDonald, I wanna thank God this evening for a Prime Minister like Dr. Timothy Harris, who lead this country on the right path. He and his ministers of government have protected the people of this nation. And we all have to give thanks and be thankful that we have a leader like Dr. Timothy Harris. We don't know what would have happened to us if there was another leader running this federation. The countries that are surrounding us want a pattern off of us. The big countries overseas want to know how we do it. But because of he and his team, and put the country first, put people first, put this nation first, before himself and the others that have made this country what it is, safe for us today. And we continue to be safe. And I just pray and hope that Almighty God continue to strengthen the Prime Minister, strengthen his ministers, all those who are working with him, the medical team, continue to give them strength and good knowledge that they can continue to keep this country safe, keep us safe until God is ready for each one of us. And I want to thank him personally tonight. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you, Dr. Timothy Harris, for keeping this country safe. And we will continue to give you our support until our Heavenly Father say, that's enough. And I don't think he's going to say that's enough right now. So we are supporting you 100%. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother Val. Just to give you an idea, in St. Kitts and Nevis, 20 cases, some 19 recovered. In Grenada, there are 37 cases, 30 recovered. In Dominica, there are 68 cases and 41 recovered. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there are 84 cases and some 78 have recovered. In Antigua and Barbuda, 139 cases, 4 deaths, 127 recovered. In St. Lucia, 220 cases, some 60 recovered, and there's some 2 deaths, unfortunately. In Barbados, 253 cases, 7 deaths, 241 recovered. In Trinidad and Tobago, let me try to find that, 6,233 cases, 113 deaths, 5,531 recovered. At 15 before 10, that's not a good looking statistics. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Yeah, Patches, good night again. Me again. Patches, I must commend the Rasta man without locks, Carlton Liburd Japan, with the talk show, a morning and afternoon. Patches, I believe that he did a wonderful job in educating our young people in the Federation about paying our social security, because that is nothing to play with. You understand? And many things. And to people who maybe in a poor health and all those things, and he come on and he read the talk show, and he speak out again, speak out about it, and try to make contribution and all those things, especially people who in ill, like sick and want to go overseas for medical treatment. He's doing a wonderful job with that. And I must commend him and Sugar City Rock with the talk show. I believe he does do a wonderful job informing the nation and educating, especially our young people. But Patches, let me move on. Patches, now, in this Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, everybody know that the COVID was out there, devastating the whole world, devastating all kind of countries in Europe, Canada, the United States of America, and all over, Patches. And if our people don't see the difference, doing what the news and see what's going on, I do not know whether they're going to take precaution and take heed and see that how many people out there just falling down with this COVID-19 cases. And Patches, let me tell you, we got to thank God, we got to really give God thanks, because Patches, when I hear some people coming on and criticizing and talking and saying all kind of things, I mean that is their right to criticize and say what they want to say. But I want to know when they criticize, they got any conscience. They got any conscience to see what that the government is trying to do to protect the people them from getting infected with this COVID-19. You understand? Because it's really dangerous out there. And the next thing I'm going to see on this passenger bus, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. With these people just coming on the bus without the mask, and the drivers them then have you come at them care, they are studying it, and Patches is very serious. Look, we had a Dominican Republic they could find in a bar. You understand? Smuggling the country. Suppose she did come on a passenger bus, Patches, and had the COVID. You know that will be a community spread? And Patches only a community spread you want, And this country closed down, Patches, me don't want to go back to that. So Patches, I call in on the good people of this federation, St. Kitts Nevis. People, you all take precaution, take heed. Take heed, people. You ain't sounding good, you ain't looking good. And this ain't have nothing to do with politics. This is to protect your mother, your sister, grandmother, whatever home she in, whatever illness you got. Because you only got to find your weakness, you only got to find your immune system weak. And this COVID out with you, out of the wall. Patches, again, you have a wonderful night. God bless. Shelley, good night.
Have a wonderful night as well. And someone asks about Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica have had 10,151 cases, 235 deaths, of which some 5,432 have recovered. At 11 before 10 o'clock, we go back to the lines. Call your line.
Patches, good night again. Patches, I want to say something about these illegal people who are coming into the country. If the immigration them used to do their work, nobody them coming into St. Kitts Nevis like that. Because if they used to meet them and stop them and ask them for documents, they'll have spread the word that immigration tight, so I can't come. But they're spreading good news. When they come, they fit right in. In the 60s in St. Thomas, they used to pick out people from the Caribbean by the hair, how they had their hair twist or braid in Cornwall. And immigration used to just meet you and do it and stop you. This is what they need to do in St. Kitts. The people them just come in and fit it in. Nobody's supposed to come in nobody country illegal. This person come in and they find one, nobody know how long she there. She could say 2-3 days, nobody know how long she there. Immigration I do your work, and people need to keep politics out of this, because as soon as the immigration them start to do the work, people talk, oh look where then only the people them used to go here and go straight. Them was back then. This is now everybody trying to secure the borders. Immigration I go out and stop them, ask them for document. It ain't that you put in nobody and nobody, but this is a time that everybody want the country to be safe. And just because I don't know who is who and who come in and who ain't come in, I need to meet them on the road and stop them. And I ain't talking about the Haitian alone. I'm talking about everybody who come from the Caribbean and illegal. When the illegal send them back out, tell them come next time and come good. Don't come to the shoot. Prime Minister, I put it in my order now. I want 6 vaccines. And I approve this message. Good night, PM. You keep on go to church. And when you go to church, remember me. Call me name. I want to change. I want to stop curse. Bye. Good night.
My dear. Patches get with all the land and business owners of the 4 blocks that facing 4th Street to turn 4th Street into a shopping mall where when you walk on 4th Street you will not see the sky because the roof will cover it. That's how Dolphin Mall, Mayfair Mall, etc. are set up. Take all those buildings, break them down, and make them 1 building or 2 floors. Upgrade Bastia, make it look like a modern country. Too many old stone buildings that don't have any steel in them. Yes, the 4 blocks of all those buildings facing 4th Street. When finished, all those owners will have their size in the form of looking stores. Patches, you've been in shopping malls in the US, and you know what I'm saying. Thank. After you finish, then tackle Newtown. Bastia is big, nice city, town, but where are the new buildings? Even 7 floors buildings is not in St. Kitts. Well, that's your view, caller, but that's very ambitious and or Himalayan task to do that. But in time, we'll tell. Caller, you're live.
We are dealing with health when it comes around this Corona 19. Okay? Now, this year is so deadly and serious. It has no respect for nobody. And so, therefore, there should be no exception to the laws of the land. That's period. Now, Patches, if it wasn't God guiding the Prime Minister, the leader out front, with his good fellowman team behind him, we could have done get past St. Lucia. But it's God hand on us. And if the leader and all of them, the hoop and sugar walkers, money radio, talking in nonsense, if them they had any love in the heart for people, some of them must talk about the black this and black that, they would have never go encourage them kind of nonsense on the radio. Look at them. All of them. Eh? Mr. Kunumuno can't chat any foolishness, but we are together again. And the other man, the farmer leader, is he the best thing for the country? When he don't show the farmer leader down in a pit, condemn him and say anything about him. And when they had when Mark Brantley them had something in Nevis with the nurses them, the population doctor refused to let the people them go up there. And one of them again done yam down a restaurant down Old Road and get up a load of money, pay down to do a job and he don't do nothing. And he pan radio abusing Timothy and the government. And the other one get free work and they had to fire him because his finger them come sticky. So when they come talking about the government, they talk about themselves. Look what happened up grammar school. When grammar school was infected with the disease of the causing children skin to bump up and Lindsay had to carry child Puerto Rico. Look at that. That was only a small estate to call. And this government here care about people lives. They build up some house up, tailors up, then take them out to India. When the farmer leader say nothing is wrong with the school, I'm a doctor. Let the children go to school. Go and go get killed. Just look how we don't respect life now. He telling people about come a yard. And then the Kunumundo doctor, the population doctor say he went up in his schoolyard. Take up dot off the ground and eat it. And nothing do he. All of them kind of nonsense, they encouraging people to going to danger their life and now come talking. Eh? Nobody expect them to say that. But from the moment they accept what the leader do, all your clock and they coming out, all of them just look what the Bible say. Dog, return to its vomit. Patches, you have a good night, good sleep. I like where the guy you ain't gonna get nothing from Jasmine. Stay in there.
Thank you very much. I watch your videos regularly. Ian reads this email. I like the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. It was my desire to set up a St. Kitts Nevis national badminton team, which should stand number 1 in all the Caribbean states and islands. I'm a qualified badminton trainer from Malaysia. I have also intensive work experience from the United Kingdom. I've also worked for Sports Board Punjab, Pakistan, But as you know, I can better perform in a compact and small island. I've also sent my certificates and my work plan to the sports department of St. Kitts Nevis, but I did not get any response so far. Very few people know about St. Kitts and Nevis. I do believe that after setting up an excellent badminton team, St. Kitts will be introduced to the nations of the world who are good at badminton. St. Kitts with a new sport will be a powerful reflection of petitions. I do hope you'll kindly ask the sports department of St. Kitts Nevis to reply to me. I've sent the email on the department's email address. I did my best to call the department, but call did not go through. I do believe I can give my best services according to the sports department standards, and this comes from a good gentleman in Pakistan. I'll pass your message on and see how best we can move that forward. It's now 3 before 10. As we wind down, I must take a few more calls before we wrap. Caller, you live.
Call. You know, Patches, I heard the lady spoke about immigration. Patches, there's a company in St. Kitts, have a lot of illegal workers. They don't have no working papers, working with this company. But what? The immigration department don't go there because what? This company try to do as good as they can in terms of making people in the Federation feel good and things like that. But there's a lot of them out there. The company itself do not pay for any working papers. They don't have no working papers. They don't even pay Social Security. They will take the Social Security number and they would not put in the Social Security funds. You know, and the immigration need to go out on the street just like how they do it in St. Martin. Go out on the street, drive the street, look for people. When they see them, go check out the companies them, because there is a company in St. Kitts that have at least 7 to 8 illegal workers there. And what happens? Some of our own people that are not able to get the job there, because when they go to apply for the job, the company is telling them no, they're not hiring. But they got a lot of immigration, legal immigrants in there working. That's it for tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Well, if you are aware of that, there's no reason why those in authority should be aware of that and should execute their duties. Caller, you are live at 2 before 10 o'clock.
I won't be staying anywhere near 2 minutes. Talking about my good friend Dr. Douglas and his double standard. I'm talking about discrimination against local or nationals. Let us remember how many persons, how many Rastas have been locked up for marijuana. And before the marijuana laws could be passed in St. Kitts, he brought in a white man here with 500 plants, and he intended, if he was in government, not a thing would have happened. When the man had to go because Timothy maintained a constant standard. What is good for the goose, good for the gander. The nationals and the foreigner get the same treatment from Trinity. But from Douglas, he bring this Alki David fellow with his load of marijuana and was locking up a lot of Rastas all over the place. Have a good night, sir, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
Have a good night as well. I look forward to continue the conversation on Thursday. I'll take a few more calls, maybe 2 more calls. Caller, you're live. I'll guide you by the rules of brevity. Can you use 30 seconds?
Now, we're talking about immigration problem. The immigration cannot function without informers. And the whole trouble about it, they need to get the act together. You can't stay in an office and arrest people. You got to be on the road with somebody giving you information what's going on. And when you go to the people in business place, don't take nothing from them. Don't take nothing. Just you come to do your work and keep your face serious. But when everybody is taking from them, how do you expect that they're going to get rid of aliens in here? You understand me? The bribe is what got some of them holding on. Some of them shame to go by people place because they don't collect. Okay? So I don't know when we get that solved if we ain't got informers. God bless you all.
God bless you as well. Perhaps we can't verify that, but if you had that information, give it to Straight Talk. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Are you there, caller?
And he take up some dirt and throw it in his mouth and nothing do him. You think nothing do him? Check his face and you will see something do him. His face look at him all time, Simon Guari. So check his face good and you will see something do him. You don't bother with him. All of a sudden he have mouth. And when the day he never had no more because he want to know if he could talk. He just up and down with the bag like the man will just do shows. The showman. No matter with them. Shame the shame. But you have a safe, a good sleep, a good night sleep. See you Thursday, God, stay alive.
Yes, my dear, thank you. I'm going to drive straight to my bed when I leave here. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live.
Liburd, last lap. What Valky was saying, that's the same thing I was raising last week. So he's so right. And with politics, with the drivers, he's so true. Today I passed through the terminal. One of the chauffeur had two other people in front with him, and none of them had a mask. And then they were laughing, and I said to them, it's the same thing they're telling people, and they start to laugh at me. The police, them only down there for traffic. They need police, even though they ain't ready yet, to check out the taxi, the people them. Okay, have a good night.
Dog family, as we wind down tonight, I'll take this call, perhaps make this my last call.
Good evening, Honorable Patis. I want to tell you that even though you is a Labour, you is a PAM, you is a Unity, you are CCM, NRP, all of us get the same treatment. And looking at people saying people ain't got no mask, Honorable Sean did not have no mask when they had the thing on the memorial. And looking at New Road on the main road by the train, he got a big hole there. And he have 4 pieces of steel and a yellow thing. A yellow thing tie around it. Please to go and check it out. That's what you all is there for, to look after the road. And the road is bad, going to Monkey Hill and the main road. So please to check them out, and then you all could know that you are doing something. The road is bumpy. I walked on it yesterday, and it ain't good. For the vehicles, them shots and everything. And you have a blessed evening, and safe journey, and all the best. See you.
Thank you. That's my good neighbor friend. The road is bad. She walked it yesterday, so it's bad for the sharks. Caller, you're live.
Yes, Mr. Liburd. Hello? Yes, good evening. How are you today, Mr. Liburd? I just want to make an input. Good evening. Yeah, I listen to your program every time, but concerning the coming home, no, with the native. I don't mind quarantine, but I don't think if you're from St. you should be going far this online. I mean, I just suggesting something on this online booking and thing, because some people, they don't even know what to do. And I want to listen to a guy today on the radio, and he say some people don't even know how to pull out the farm. I agree, I don't mind the quarantine, because you can't take chances, but with the online booking to come home, you're from thinking, I don't think you should be going through that, to be honest. So I just want to hear your input into that. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. I understand that. It could be a challenge for an information technology challenge for some people, yes. What's the alternative? I thought about that myself, but there has to be conformity with the protocols. I'm out of time. I'll take this call. Caller, you're live.
Liburd, her government had 20 years. Stop listening with nonsense.
We entertain all. We you don't necessarily have to accept the views, but let's respect it. That's what straight talk is all about. My straight talk family, I'm out of time. My time is done. I'll take this and make this my final call for sure. Caller, you're live.
Right. This is Brother Bumpy. I do trying to do a good job down at the ferry terminal. You all put a supervisor there that then trying to work and trying to make me look bad. One of the reason why she's saying that people, first she said I thief in garbage bag. Now today they come to me again and tell me one thief for the garbage bin them and different things like that. Then say people thieving out the garbage bag them. Which is nobody's thieving out the garbage bag. The woman is refusing to bring the garbage bag them on the compound and even leave them with somebody. And different things like that, because me really talking to her, she called me a thief. And different things like this here. Up to today, to tell the manager that I got key for the garbage bin them. The Port Authority, I beg the chief of staff for the two garbage bin them to be there. And different things, the man who built the building, Mr. Lewis. And he tell me, Bumpy, you're responsible for the garbage bin them. And different things like this here. And before the woman make it she business last week Friday, I got pictures on her with the bins them and different things like this here. And before the woman make it she business and I take out the garbage bin them 3 o'clock in the morning and so forth, give it to the truck at 4:30. When I don't give it to the truck, no garbage bag come back down there. And I had to beg 4 garbage bags yesterday to put in the bin them and different things like this here. Tell the woman stop harassing the CMO and stop harassing the manager and bring out the government garbage bag and give them to the government work. She's doing a lot of stupidness, saying she's supervisor. Come asking what me position down at the ferry terminal and different things like this here. She's very out of order and very disrespectful because she called me a thief, and that's the reason why I want to talk to her. Have a good night, and may the Lord bless you and safe passage home. Take care of yourself. I love you always, brother.
Yes, have a good night as well, my straight dog family. Yes, I can hear you wanted to vent your feelings. A little bit off target, but that's what straight dog is all about. And my straight dog family, I think that's the way we're gonna end it because my time is done and I've got to run. We discuss the exceptional COVID-19 model introduced by your team unity government. And from the feedback tonight, the team unity government is doing an excellent job thus far in containing this coronavirus. Yes, we have reopened our borders, and after 3 weeks, we've seen our first case and now gone to 20. The questions we asked, should returning nationals be quarantined? And I can hear a resounding yes. What do you think? I asked about nationals being granted differential or preferential treatment. I heard a resounding no. Should there be exemption based on nationality or should there be one rule for all who enter the Federation? I hear a resounding yes. As some people say, rules are rules, and we must follow the rules. We are a country of laws, and we must be guided by those laws. And my straight dog family, the comment about the challenge to complete those forms online is something that ought to be considered. I would agree. Yes, I am not in the IT on the class, so I was able to go online and fill out my form and so on. But how many people can do that? How do we accommodate them? That's something the authorities must go to the drawing board and see how best it can be done. But that is a tall order, I know. But for now, there are some protocols that we have to conform with. We go online. They were all outlined by the NEOC and by the CMO in terms of coming back to St. Kitts. But the point is, we have to contain this virus. And every returning national must be placed in quarantine and monitored for 14 days. And here I am speaking from confinement. And God spare, if it's the will of God, yes, I will do my tests on Saturday. I understand I have to pay at the health center. I just read that today before I can get that test. But the whole idea, the whole rationale, the expected outcome really is to keep our people healthy and safe. And that must be paramount in fighting this COVID. We are a country, there's a government that puts life first. And this is what Prime Minister Harris said.
The member for number 6 then posits the argument that when someone comes from a hotspot in South Florida, New York, out of London, call anywhere, that person be given differential treatment on the basis of nationality. I reject it as being unwise. Our approach must be that we will do all in our power to keep people safe. And we have a life-saving strategy at the forefront of our actions.
Yes, a life-saving strategy at the forefront of all these protocols. My Sweet Dog family, I want to thank all those who called. I want to thank all those who sent emails. I want to thank my Facebook massive, my YouTube massive, or rather my social media massive. I want to thank you who listened via radio on the big 96.1 FM, the nation's station. I must thank Albert Bradley in the studio. I must thank Kevin Wilkinson and John James all the way in Toronto, who all make this possible. A matter of fact, all of you make this program possible, and I say a big, big thank you. Hopefully, Thursday coming will be my last from this virtual setting. And come next week, Monday, God's willing, I trust I'll connect with you from the studio. Until we connect, my Straight Dog family, remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve what you first got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Until we connect on Thursday, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay focused. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here.